There's a new Western in theaters right now. It's based on a book called Killers of the Flower Moon. Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro star in the film.
That's right. It sounds good, but there's one thing. It's 3.5 hours long, Chad. And to some, this is good, but for others, it could be a deal breaker. WFMY News 2's Manning Franks has you covered in this week's movie review.
With a career that spans over 50 years, Martin Scorsese has been one of the silver screen's most celebrated directors. So honestly, anything that man touches, in my humble opinion, is a cinematic experience worth watching. From Raging Bull to Goodfellas to more recently Hugo and even Silence, my personal favorite of his. That man knows how to make them. So you pick Killers of the Flower Moon with a stacked cast and historically poignant subject matter, and you have a movie, I believe, that you should have both eyes on.
Why did you come here?
I work with my uncle.
You're scared of him?
Oh, he's the nicest man in the world.
Based on the lauded novel of the same name, Killers of the Flower Moon follows the serial murders in the 1920s of members of the Osage Nation by power-hungry white men.
Money flows freely here now.
I do love that money, sir.
One of those men, Ernest Burkhart, must wrestle with the devotion of his blood family versus the love of his wife, Molly, a member of the Osage Nation, who is hell-bent on uncovering the grisly murders of her own family. Killers of the Flower Moon brings Martin Scorsese's consistent film partners, Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, back into the fold. However, it is Lily Gladstone that actually is the undeniable scene stealer. As Molly, Gladstone carries herself with such intense magnetism that it's hard to look away even when she's acting opposite her Oscar-winning co-stars. Still, DiCaprio and De Niro give reliably full-throated performances. And, not surprisingly, Scorsese effectively juggles the complexities of all these interpersonal relationships. Without question, Scorsese could direct a film in his sleep, yet when it comes to subject matter that he is passionate about, it shows. Flower Moon brings that to a beautiful culmination of passion and expertise. Yet it's not without its flaws. At its core, the emotional weight of the true story fluctuates in effectiveness because, in part, of Scorsese's own lofty ambition. What feels like branching narratives best served as a mini-series loses some of its shine by the time the last scene plays, nearly 3 hours and 30 minutes later. Now, don't mishear me, by no means is this film bad or even uninteresting. I merely feel like there are some things that should have been left on the cutting room floor at the end of the day. Granted, I probably will still want to rewatch this, not because I have an undying love for the movie, but because there is just so much to unpack, which can be both a good thing for some and a bad thing for others. As a result, I'm giving Killers of the Flower Moon a for you to decide. You can currently watch it only in theaters.
All right.
Yes.
So let's start with how long
Let's
the movie is.
unpack.
Yeah, let's unpack. So what is your deal kind of with 3.5 hour movies?
As I've said before, most people, as I've told, you can justify as long as you want to be for a movie. You have to earn that runtime, though. For me, I love movies. I can sit for a 3-hour movie if it earns it. If you get 3 hours and 30 minutes, I'm going to be looking at the time, making sure, okay, have you earned those extra 30 minutes? And Scorsese, as a legendary director as he is, I feel like he doesn't from a personal perspective.
So I like what you said, and correct me if I've misheard, but it would have been good as a series, you said, right?
There is so much, as I was saying, and I keep using the word to unpack, because there is a lot. It's like you have a box and a box and a box and a box in order to try to unravel everything that he's trying to throw at you, the audience. And it's good to be able to have some more digestible chunks, which with a miniseries I feel like would have served it so well.
Interesting.
30 minutes longer than Titanic.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so it is a little longer than Titanic.
Not
I knew it was
exactly
around
30,
that.
but
Well,
yes.
within-
What about Avengers, the last one?
I think it's roughly around there. I'm not
that?
sure how long Avengers Endgame is, but it's roughly around that
Okay.
time. So it is a long sit. Not that it's a bad movie by any stretch of imagination, It is
gotta
just
see
one
it.
you have to commit to a long chunk of time. I know for me, I'm not sure I can sit through 3 hours and 30 minutes again, unless I have that time to really sit and see, because everyone's fantastic. They're on their A game in this movie, and Scorsese, as we know, is a director of
Names.
Goodfellas, Hugo,
Yes.
Silence, Casino. He's a great director. So it's just more like, can you commit that long?